good evening everyone. This is Anthony George. Right now at second AI conference, and I'm with modernplastics.tv. Right now with me standing is with Mr. Shreyans and Mr. Prathamesh. They are from SHK Chemicals. They have already started a startup that is known to manufacture ethanol in India. These are two youngsters who plan to do it, and they have already started. Mr. Prathamesh and Mr. Shreyans, welcome to modernplastics.tv. First of all, I like to ask you is things, what made you think to manufacture ethanol in India?
Hello, thank you for the warm welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, Prathamesh.
So basically what made us get into this venture was basically we were following up with the Indian biofuel policy. So that came out, and with that we saw there's a lot of potential in the market. There's a lot of shortfall that is happening. So we thought we could tap that sector and possibly step into that.
And a couple of other reasons was like we, growing up and being at a young age, we always think about green fuels and environment, which we have studied, and so this is bioethanol is a green fuel and which will reduce carbon emissions. So instead of just thinking about the monetary aspects of it, we also thought this could help reduce the foreign forex that is going out and reduce also the emissions. So it helps both like growing the industrial development as well as environment.
Mentioning about ethanol and ethyl acetate. Sir, can you just focus something, what is ethanol being used for, and ethyl acetate, and your company which you plan to commission by end of May, what is the what you're planning to do is, and how you're planning to start this, and what is the production capacity for both the products, sir?
Alright, the production capacity for ethanol it is 60,000 liters per day. That's 60 KLPD, and for ethyl acetate it is 50 tons per day. Ethanol is basically blended with petrol, so the government policy is in such a way that it is targeting to meet a 20% of blending by 2022. So that is, ethanol will be used for that. And for ethyl acetate, it has various applications. It is mainly used as a solvent, so it is used in paints, paint industry, pharmaceutical sectors, as well as flexible packaging.
Just to add like a couple of things to it. So we will be directly providing ethanol to oil marketing companies, all three companies, IOC, HPC and BPCL in the next few years. And like my friend Shreyans suggested here, ethyl acetate would go to private sectors, and we are also looking into export opportunities for that.
Mentioned about flexible packaging. So how do you see the flexible packaging market in India, since there is a lot of shouting happening in India, especially in Maharashtra, ban of plastic. Since you mentioned flexible packaging, how you think this ethyl acetate, especially in the state like Maharashtra and other 20 to 28 states which have already banned plastic. Some of these states have not banned it yet. But how do you see this ethyl acetate market growing in India?
Well, considering all of those aspects, like even the government of banning and everything, we analyzed the trend for the last 7 years, and we noticed that there is a consumption that is growing. The CAGR for the consumption of ethyl acetate is around 30%, whereas the production is only 17%. So there is also a big market shortfall, and not just even considering the banning and the government aspects related to it. I think there is still a lot of other potential which it could be tapped in, like pharmaceuticals as well as in paint industries, and it is also used as a food additive.
Yeah, and just to add to that, ethyl acetate, irrespective of plastic being a major ingredient for packaging, it has basic evaporation properties. So irrespective of material that you're using to package, ethyl acetate will still be used as a solvent. So that ban really doesn't affect ethyl acetate.
So speaking about ban, now coming to the availability of ethanol and ethyl acetate in India. What is the capacity required in India for ethanol and ethyl acetate, and do we have manufacturers in India who are able to at least provide as per the market needs in India, leave the export, but in as per the Indian market for ethanol and ethyl acetate?
I can take that. Ethanol has a huge demand. Like recently, India is following models of Brazil and USA, where 100% ethanol is used for cars. and in US they blend up to 20% in gasoline. So India is following the same model, which will actually help them to import less crude oil and also save a lot of forex. So currently we are blending 2% to 3% ethanol in petrol, whereas like we mentioned earlier, there is a target of 20% blending, and for 5% blending, 330 crore liters of ethanol is required. And last year, all of the country was able to provide close to 200 crores. So even at 5% blending, there is huge scope for ethanol. And coming to ethyl acetate, actually we were an export country like few years back for ethyl acetate, but since Southeast Asian demand for food and packaging industry is growing at such a high level, so exports have gone down because domestic consumption is increasing. We are at a 90% capacity utilization, but if we tap into our GDP, there is a lot of scope for utilization of domestic consumption in India.
Now, for next question is for Shreyan.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me where is this project that is coming up, and what is the capacity and what is the land allotment that you have got to start up this project?
Alright, the project, so just to give you a little introduction about our project, it is based in Usmanabad district. So this is basically on the route between Solapur and Hyderabad. It is 70 kilometers from Solapur and around 200 kilometers from Hyderabad. We have allocated almost 11 acres of land for this project. And we have also considered 11 acres in such a way so that we could expand into other alcohol-based chemicals.
Coming to the investment part, this is for Prathamesh. What is the investment total you have got, and do you have, as a startup, have any of the investment company or VCs who have tried to venture into this startup?
The investment for plant and machinery, including land and development, is close to 15 crore rupees, and there is a working capital also required about 10 crore rupees. So more or less around 20 to 25 crore rupees of investment is required to actually run the factory. And talking about investments, we actually have sanctions from a couple of nationalized banks. So we're not disclosing the names of the bank yet because we're not decided whom to go with yet. But we get a good rate of interest around 9 to 10% from nationalized banks for our investment.
This being a startup, Shreyans and Prathamesh, do you have any message, especially when I see people like you, when I see youngsters like you, I also get motivated. But do you like to give some of the message which will help the especially viewers who are going to watch? I know this is a plastics TV, but most of the people who will be watching are youngsters and people who are into the plastic business last from 30 to 40 years. Can you give some of the message for these youngsters as well as the people who are going to watch this video?
Alright, as per our company policy, we are mainly enrolled in visioning and maintaining a strict policy onto ensuring that we create a world that is much more sustainable for tomorrow. So we want to have products in such a way also that are basically improving the lives as well as giving as my friend said, we are a green company. So focusing on green products as well as sustainable products. So that's what I would like to tell the youngsters ahead.
Prathamesh, would like to share anything on this?
Yeah, just to add a couple of things to it. Whatever you do, just be safe. Like I know India may, like we heard in the conference, chalta hai, kuch nahi hota hai. But safety first should always be a priority whenever you start working. So that's my only message out there, and just follow your dreams and keep working hard. Sure, you'll achieve.
One last question to both of you. Since you plan to venture in this startup, and this being a very big project as per your family, and as per these youngsters like you, it is a very big project. Did you have any support from your friend or relatives or your families? You both can share.
Alright, both of us have actually been very lucky in that way that we have parents and relatives and family who have been supporting us all to this. So they've also been helping us with their contacts, as not just financially but also with contacts and other resources that they could provide to us. So that's been great help for us. And for anyone else also, it's good to reach out to your family and friends.
Yeah, like Shreyans mentioned, like the entire attribute goes to our dads especially, because without their dreams and support, I don't think it would have been, I'm sure we would have achieved something, but not so quickly or not so easily. It has been not an easy ride so far, but because of their support and experience, it really helps and matters a lot.
I was watching you, both of you. I didn't knew that you had a startup. It was Mr. X.C. Ravindran of Icon who told me about you. We wish you best of luck, Shreyans and Prathamesh, for the project. And may you expand more, and not only in 11 acres, but may you be one of the Asia's topmost ethanol and ethyl acetate, not only in this, but more alcohol and into solvents. And with this, I sign off for modernplastics.tv. This is Anthony George at second AI Icon conference at Mumbai with my team. Thank you.